Welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Mike Catalana, I'm Jenna Cottrell. The Bills getting a win over the Panthers today, but what this really means is that Buffalo still in contention for that AFC title against the Patriots. We know they're going to be in Foxborough next week. What do you make of tonight's game and what it means for next week?
All right, we're going to talk plenty about the game, the Bills and the Panthers, but as Bill Belichick would say, well, sort of, as he would say, we're on to Foxborough. We're on to the Patriots. This is what this season has set up for. They got themselves back there. It was a weird couple of weeks. The Patriots had a week off. The Bills went down to Tampa, lost in overtime. They had COVID issues this week. The Patriots lost last night. All of it sets up for the Bills. Severely disappointed with what happened here in Orchard Park in that game, that Monday night against the Patriots, when Belichick was crowned the king. Mac Jones was a superstar. We see how quickly it happens in this league. You know, you're either humbled or about to be humbled. They got humbled. Now the Bills are set up to get a shot at the Patriots again next week.
Oh, man. It sets up, like, I feel like it's poetic justice for them to be going against one another because of what the season has been like. But again, I mean, the fact that the Bills are in this, they had a good, not great game against the Panthers. We know Josh Allen a little dinged up. He had that sprained left foot. What did you see from this Bills offense, and what did you like?
Well, I didn't like the offensive line, and I'm going to give Spencer Brown had a bad day. He had penalties all over the place. It is not easy to move from the right side to the left side. I know, maybe some fans or even media people would look and say, you just shift over. It's a different thing. He didn't know it until this morning. It was a strange combination of things that had to get done, but he did struggle. And, I mean, he got holding penalties. He had false starts. He had a taunting penalty. It wasn't much, but he got called for it. So that didn't help Josh Allen out a lot. I thought Allen moved well. You were down on the field. What did you think when you watched him running around?
I was surprised by how fluid he seemed. I mean, he broke off a couple big runs, one of which in the third quarter. Like, it seemed like Josh Allen of before the injury. Now, again, I think they didn't do a lot of QB design runs because of his situation. But at the same point, I was impressed. He didn't really seem limited by it.
No, he threw the ball well in the middle part towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
He got off to a rough start. He was a little amped up, Josh, I think, a little bit. Threw a couple high, had a couple bad throws, made a bad decision. The one that was picked off, though, I thought Chin made a really good read.
That was a really nice play.
He was. He sort of baited him into it a little bit. He had Diggs, and from my angle, I have to say, as the one thing, other than the out of the weather, about being in the press box is that angle, we're looking at basically an all-22 video, and I see Diggs break open. I see the ball come out, and boom, Chin makes a play. Not good. I didn't like the sack that he took in the fourth quarter. Deep in their own territory, just got to get it out. But look, Josh Allen was pretty good. And we talk a lot about, well, they could have just played Trubisky. I don't think you want to go down that road if this Josh should have been playing, and he did. And I thought that was good. And he got some help today out of number 13.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been talking about Gabriel Davis and what he can add to this offense. Now, again, he was behind Emmanuel Sanders, a guy that obviously has plenty of experience now with Sanders being out with the knee injury. I think Gabe Davis stepped up well. I think he's been able to make consistent catches and be that kind of spark for this offense. Now, look, I mean, he's only in his second season, but a couple of touchdowns today, 5 catches for 85 yards. I've been impressed by what he can do, and we know this opportunity really seems like it's just getting started with Sanders' injury. But also, don't tell Dan Fates, but the run game also got going today.
Yeah, they handed the ball to Singletary 20 times. 20 times that the Bills did, and it worked. They had a touchdown. They moved the ball decently on the ground. It was enough to try to keep the Panthers from killing Josh Allen. He took a couple of big hits in this game, especially early. You just can't have that. That's a fast defense. That's a pretty good defense. So for the Bills to at least, move the line of scrimmage a little bit and move the ball on the ground, at least it's a sign if you're New England next week, not that they expect the Bills to be a run team, but I think it might add a little more respect to the Bills' run game, which for them, hopefully, it opens up other things offensively. We don't know what the offensive line is going to look like next week.
No.
Is Deion Dawkins going to be back? Would he be at left tackle? You put Spencer Brown. We don't know about any of this, and that's one thing we got to deal with. And as we were talking about before we started doing this, dealing with COVID is something it's hard to prepare for. I know they have contingency plans, but Jenna, they found out 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday that Feliciano wasn't going to play. Look what that did. This guy's out when he hasn't really played. Now you're shifting your right guard to right tackle, your right tackle to left tackle.
Yeah.
And now go out and play a few hours later. That's tough.
That is really tough. And you talk about being prepared. I think Sean McDermott is a guy that thinks out all the circumstances, but at the same time, even for a guy that knows what he wants to do, that doesn't mean it's exactly what you hope to do. And this late in the season, knowing what's on the line, it's got to be stressful. I think they handled it well.
Yeah.
But there were certain points where, like, yeah, Spencer Brown had some tough plays in that game.
Yeah, he did, and he hasn't played. We saw him a lot in training camp at left tackle, a little bit in the preseason when Dion was out, so at least he had some snaps there. But this guy's been a right tackle, and you're in the NFL.
Yeah.
And again, they have good pass rushers. New England is going to attack him if he's on that left side. Again, you just know it. This is you know what else I found interesting when I say that about attacking? Was when Harrison Phillips was talking about how Carolina did some things that they saw New England do. Like, that's on tape now, the way they got gashed in the run game. And it's specific plays that New England ran that they did. So you put stuff out there like Spencer Brown. If he's in that spot, New England is going after him coming up next week. So it's going to be something they're going to have to deal with.
All right, really quickly, what did you see from the defense? F.A. Obata, a couple sacks. They were able to get good pressure. What did you make of their day today?
Sean McDermott mentioned when we go with 4, that's what they really want to do. If you get there with 4 players, that's a big plus. I like when they show some pressure.
Yeah.
I saw it from Tremaine Edmonds a few times. I love when Edmonds is rushing the quarterback. I don't know. They do it, and to me, when I see it and he's going forward, it's great.
Yeah.
But they don't do it a ton.
Yeah.
They really don't. When 6'5", big arms, and he's going in there. You mentioned Obata. Jerry Hughes made a play.
Yeah.
We haven't heard a lot from Jerry. Jerry made a play, but there right behind him was Edmonds flying in behind him with his hands up, and I think that's impactful. It was great to see Obata do that. That's against the former team, Carolina.
Yep.
He was very low-key in the postgame.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, he's a respectful guy. He didn't want to say anything bad. The Panthers were the team that gave him his chance. But I tell you what, they need a spark in the pass rush. I'm not saying it's going to be F.A. every week, but at least he showed something there, and that's what they need. That's what they need. And what else did it show? Get the lead.
Yeah.
It's so different. Get the lead
so
on Mac
different.
Jones and see what he can do.
Yeah, it's very true. All right, that's all the time we have for now. For Mike Catalana, I'm Jenna Cottrell. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.